This video is brought to you by stockagogo.com, stock photos.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. The Disney studio had such a box office success with our last film, The Apple Dumpling Gang. It was no real surprise that a sequel was soon put into work, and we have that sequel coming up next. It's The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again from 1979, again starring Tim Conway and Don Knotts as the bumbling bandits Amos and Theodore. And they are, in fact, the only actors from that first film who are back, recreating their roles, which speaks volumes about what the Disney bosses felt was the key factor that made that first film such a hit. The studio was so convinced that it was the comedic chemistry of Knotts and Conway that audiences enjoyed in that film. This time they have no kids involved at all. Grown-ups abound, very silly grown-ups, but grown-ups nonetheless. In the film, Theodore and Amos are accused of stealing supplies from a remote army fort, although, of course, in movies like this, the plot really doesn't matter a whit. What does, though, is having Knotts and Conway trying to be fierce, but only being funny. Now, besides Knotts and Conway, there is another familiar face who appears in both the Apple Dumpling Gang movies, and it's actor Henry Morgan. But this time he plays a different character altogether. In the Apple Dumpling Gang, Harry played a sheriff. In the sequel, he is an army major. There are also some other recognizable faces in the cast, certainly. Tim Matheson, 1 year after he got kicked out of the Delta fraternity in Animal House. You also see Western perennial Jack Elam, funny lady Ruth Buzzy, and in her final film appearance to date, one of the great femme fatales from the golden age of film noir, Audrey Totter. So here's the TCM premiere of The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again.
Marshall, I'm sorry. We didn't.
The same year Don Knotts was seen in this film, he took on a regular role on television, playing the landlord Mr. Furley for 5 seasons on the hit show Three's Company. While he was beginning that success, his partner in our film, Tim Conway, was just finishing his long association with The Carol Burnett Show, as that weekly series came to an end. It was 2 years ago that Don Knotts passed away. Tim Conway turned 75 years old tomorrow, and is still, of course, very funny. Just this year, he won an Emmy for a recent guest appearance on 30 Rock. Up next, we're going to change gears and bring you this week's Silent Sunday feature, a Cecil B. DeMille drama from 1929.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Lena Basquette causes an uproar as the Godless Girl. Then director Wolfgang Peterson has plenty of elbow room aboard Das Boot. And Robert Sterling lands a knockout in Ringside Maisie. TCM packs a punch tonight.